him happy, and that's his bond with his peers, then hey, so be it.
Yeah, that's my kids. My kids are.
Because you don't want to be a bully at school, bro. Even though like everybody hates being bullied, nobody wants their kid send your kid to school and everybody talking about, man, you got on that Walmart shit or you got on this and that, especially if you can afford to, give them something nicer. That's just how I look at it.
Okay. My thing is quality.
Yeah.
My child is rough on stuff.
Yeah.
If I start buying some cheap stuff, we're gonna be going through stuff, end up paying more for this cheaper stuff than we could pay for getting something that's a little bit better quality.
Yeah.
It's not always about the name brand for me, but I don't buy them high shoes either. But his dad buys them, but his dad wears them. That's stuff that he likes. Agreed. So he'll end up getting them that way. But now that they wear the same size shoe, I can see that shifting.
Yeah. Pay the same price.
Hand down, share or something.
Yeah. I can see sharing finna go on in the conversation of taking care of your shit.
Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? We just been on 45 minutes on Facebook. Y'all know how to do it. It's the Sunday night nightcap. Right now we have Shanae, Angela, Demario, and welcome back G Jack, and we're just discussing about family, parenting, and I didn't even get a chance to talk about coming from Tyler, Texas, being like in Denario, you may experience some of this, coming from the South. And
listen to some of the stuff he said, yeah.
And we went to the predominantly black high school.
I didn't go to high school.
Nah.
So in our hometown, we had a couple in the area. Really, in our hometown, we had John Tyler, which is predominantly black, Robert E. Lee, which is predominantly white, and we had All Saints, which was the private school.
Is that the same
TK Gorman too?
Oh, and TK Gorman.
Okay.
Well, TK Gorman, All Saints was the middle school. TK Gorman was the high school. Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a church.
I just knew that they were a high school. I didn't know how many grades they had at TK
Gorman. And last year, this is crazy how much just happened over 365. But they finally changed the name of the high schools in our hometown. Not only Robert E. Lee, but John Tyler as well. And a lot of people didn't never think it would happen. There's been a lot of politics behind it, a lot of ignorant stuff said behind it as well. But
it was pointless. At the end of the day, that fight was pointless.
I don't think it was pointless.
Name changed too?
Tyler Legacy, same shit. Legacy of Robert E. Lee. So it's the same shit. Like, and John Tyler is Tyler High. Like, it's no difference. It's the same. It's just a roundabout way of saying the same race of shit.
I disagree.
They can say that money.
What money though? How much did it cost?
I said it was like $300,000 per school to change the name or something. To like do the paperwork and all this shit.
Not that stressful. I promise you, it's probably more. But Robert E. Lee, the history of Robert E. Lee, once again, the changing the name of something is taking power from it.
Not when you call it the legacy though. Like you go into what's the legacy?
Well, once again, it can change easily. You can make the legacy what it is now. The legacy is part of the change of the name as well.
That school started. I don't know when Robert E. Lee started, but I want to say John Tyler was a spinoff from when they closed Emmett Scott. So
close.
Okay, so I'm wanting to say what 1970 did John Tyler come about?
I think John Tyler was there already before. I think it was Tyler High before when they had Emmett Scott. That's what I think. It was Emmett Scott and Tyler High, and then when they closed Emmett Scott, everybody went over to John Tyler, and then they made Robert E. Lee because so the white people could go over there.
I'm gonna Google when did John Tyler High School originate? And the reason why I want to know is because we're here now in 2021. There's 2020 is when the names changed, right? To Tyler High.
Mm-hmm.
How many years did it take them to change that, and why change it now?
It was a hot topic. There was already the George Floyd thing happened, and they were making a big push for black, change and recognizing across the nation. So it's easier to get it passed. Or if anybody talking about it, then ain't nobody gonna, it's easy to push it under the rug.
it's still the name of that high school did not make or break these people I'm on this call with tonight.
Yeah.
You're well established. You're doing well. Brandon's well established. He's doing well. Denario, he didn't go to the schools that we went to, but Shanae, I know her no more. It looks like she just left, but she's well established. There are some great people that was bred and formed out of John Tyler High School. And damn Tyler High, John Tyler High School was the name of the school. And it's not the name, it's the people coming out of it. And what they are producing when they come out of it. The teachers were awesome. We had excellent teachers, coaches, principals, counselors, even the security guards on campus, even the cafeteria lady. Hell,
Shout out to the cafeteria lady with that pizza on Fridays.
oh my God, that pizza was everything, and them French fries with a lot of salt and pepper on it. Oh
and
my
them
God,
chicken strips, them strips.
You felt the love. You felt the love, and but if we talk about it, like, man, just that name and the history behind Robert Lee is pure racism. Robert Lee
it bred out and pushed out some good people out of the school. The name is garbage. Damn the name. We're talking about the people that came from it. And that's what I'm talking about with even John Tyler.
Yeah.
Y'all were some awesome people that came out of that school. I mean, there's some people now that came out of that school that's running cities and states and on Congress, congressmen and aldermen, all that. But at the same time, I say all that to say the name John Tyler, the name Robert E. Lee. Yeah, that's shit. That's garbage. Excuse my language, because I said I was gonna stop cussing too, but I know damn well I'm not gonna start no time soon.
You know how we do. Let long as people don't think I just be cussing no reason.
I mean, you don't. I mean, we were raised the same way, so cuss words are normally like in our vocabulary anyway.
Correct.
But it's really garbage. Just because it's the name, that don't make it the staff and the faculty and all that. The name is shit, but the people there and the people that came, that came through that school from 9th grade to 12th grade, now doing big things and working, running shit. It wasn't the name. It was the people there.
Absolutely. And
Miss Taylor. I mean, we had some phenomenal teachers, man. Counselors and coaches and shit.
It is it is like a slap in the face though with the name, but I mean we did great by overcoming that and not really letting that deter us and get us off track of the ultimate goal.
Correct.
Now we get your education.
So was it because the caliber of educators that came in after we left? Do you think that could have been the issue? Because we had Miss Taylor was still teachers that can cuss our ass outside and come on back in the building.
But Miss Taylor was still there when I was there.
To it. No, I don't think anybody really paid attention to the name or anything like that. I guess the name really doesn't matter. It's just but nobody really questioned it. But when you know, and it's kind of like, dang, that's messed up. Like they really fighting this hard to keep this racist motherfucker like a symbol of pride and honoring him, But then that's the part of growing up. You realize America ain't shit when it comes to black people.
I was telling my wife that America, everything that you think is just calm and innocent, it has some racism.
It has some racism in it, man. It's some backdoor shit, and they just right in your face too. And it's like, damn, I didn't know, so didn't have a problem with it before. And it's like the more you uncover and find out, you're like, oh, this is so fucked up, man.
Okay,
this will never
the ice cream song. To what's the thing when you throw the ball and people fall into the water at fairs? To Duncan Booth, that's racist. Like when I tell you, if you look, I know you don't have Instagram, Anki, but if you go to my Instagram, I post like when you like, it's like, damn, shit.
That's a lot.
So Denario, what type of high school were you at? What predominantly race school were you at?
Oh no, we was at the race school. Our school, there was no separation or, well, let me put it like this. So
very diverse.
Because you from Baton Rouge. Are you from Baton Rouge?
Oh no, I'm from the backwoods. I'm from country. You know what I mean? Like
it still got
my closest neighbor was a rock. My closest neighbor was a rock. You know what I mean? I'm from backwoods. But what happened was in our city, there was diversity before, and what was it was called West Side High, right?
Mm.
And what they did was when they started integrating schools, they actually changed the predominantly black school of West Side High into a middle school. So the communities from where the blacks from two separate towns came to West Side High to go to school, now everybody had to come to middle school at West Side High. And then from your city, then when you finished middle school, you went back to your city to finish high school.
Hmm.
So yeah, they
So
integrated
was it
and
a lot of
then
busing?
oh,
It
it
sounded
was
like
so
there
much
was a lot
busing.
of busing because if everybody got to be at this central location, then disperse off when they go to high school. Was it a lot of busing from all over the city to come to this one spot?
Oh, it was busing from multiple cities. So we have my folks was from Spiritsville, it's called Spiritsville, Louisiana. And then like there was another city called Bernice, Louisiana.
That is
So
some
the
country
black
shit right there.
kids would go from Spiritsville and Bernice would all go to what was called West Side High or West Side High. And they will all go to school there. Well, like I said, with the integrations and the passing of the laws, so they changed West Side to Lilly Middle School. And then you spent your first 5 years at your high school for elementary school. Then everybody went to Lilly Middle School and went up until eighth grade. And then after eighth grade, you went back to your separate high schools
Mm.
and spent 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade at your high school. And now they've gotten rid of all the small city schools and consolidated everything into one school at what is the capital of the parish, basically. So in Farmerville in Union Parish. So now there's Farmerville High School, which they changed Farmerville High from being just Farmerville kids to Union Parish High.
Mm.
That
So
sounds really good in education. You just blew my whole wig backwards because there was a whole lot of information. These schools coming here, coming there, and then you got to get dropped off over here, and then all of them went to this Farmerville, and then that. I'm tired listening to you.
I was just thinking though, like when he was telling that story, I was thinking like, what was the inspiration? Like, why did they integrate? Like, what was? It had to
we
be
gotta
money.
remember,
It had to be the money issue. Like, I
well,
don't
not
just
just the
see them
money
one
issue,
day
but the
waking up
law.
trying to be
It was a
nice.
law.
Yeah,
the
but
law.
what made them pass the law though? Think about it. Like you've never
Civil
seen,
rights movement.
Yeah.
bruh. No.
Okay,
Yes,
this
yes,
gentleman
yes.
was born in the 80s. In the 80s, and this was happening during his time in the 80s. Hell, civil rights have been taken care of.
What?
Yeah, that's what changed West Side from being a predominantly black school was the civil rights movement.
So, Brandon, but go ahead, Denario. What were you saying?
Um, it changed from at West Side from being that segregated blacks go to school here, whites go to school here, to everybody's going to high school in your own city, but we're not going to get rid of a perfect good building, so we're going to make everybody go to middle school here.
I guess that's where you lost me because my specific question to you was, how was your educational backing? Was it a predominantly black school, or did you have a mixed race in your school, or was it predominantly white? And then now you talking saying something about civil rights. That's probably where I got off the bus at way back there.
And it became mixed.
Be quiet, Brandon. I didn't hear you. Denario, what was you saying? Because Brandon talking.
It was mixed but predominantly white.
You went to a school that was predominantly white. Okay.
Yes.
Was it a predominantly white area?
Yeah.
So even with everything went around, you from a predominantly white area, you only had one high school, correct?
Yeah, in our city, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if Robert Lee was the only high school, and even if John Tyler used to be predominantly white. John Tyler and the history of Tyler used to be John Tyler, and it used to be Tyler High, and it used to be Emmett J. Scott.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I did a whole post about this, y'all.
That's why I remember it. That's why I knew that. I was like, I think I'm right about this.
So it used to be Tyler High and Emmett J. Scott. But when the laws pass, because MJ Scott, we take pride in, like, and I'm bringing I'm bringing Brenda, Sheila, Aunt Dee, and Aunt Carolyn on, and we're gonna talk about the
Hold
history.
on, y'all, right quick.
Do your thing, do your thing. We're gonna talk about the history of MJ Scott. And Demario MJ Scott was a predominantly, it was segregated at the time, but it was the black high school in a very racist ass town, and where black people was the shit. Okay, it was like, I wouldn't say it was like on the extreme level of a Black Wall Street, but these black people handling shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And segregation hit, but like I don't know if they talk about how like John Tyler High was still like a better operated school. You know what I mean? But because if you look at the GJack, if you look at that full post and that full I put about it, that they had other schools that burned them schools down. They don't talk about that shit. You got to pay attention. They still wouldn't have water. They would still.
I don't think you should sugarcoat the white people. I think you just gonna say it.
Okay, white people. Because in the history it showed that white people in town was fucking terrorizing the black schools. They were poisoning the lines. They were burning them down. It was racism. If y'all watch the film, then not the film, but the series Them on Amazon Prime, that's real life. Okay. But
I seen that. That was
man,
crazy shit.
Oh, that was some fucked up shit. We supposed to be talking about it tonight, but we'll catch back up on my other podcast. But either way, Robert MJ Scott has a lot of pride. Scotties is what they call them. One of the most famous people from it, from Tyler is oh my god, Kiki Shepherd. That's one of my aunt's close friends, or people she come up with. Showtime at the Apollo, that's something that's a representative of my hometown. And going forward, it's just, we had that. And they're like, why did it happen? We have to understand that with desegregation, it was just bigger than just Tyler. It was a nationwide situation, especially in the South, where we're not getting equal rights. We still don't get fucking equal rights. You feel me? It's like we still need our equity. Give us what is due
on
to
paper.
us.
On paper, we get equal rights.
Man,
on laws,
if we want to go down the whole line, then we got to talk about redlining. Man, watch the film.
That's what I'm saying. They just find a way to like maneuver around the rules and shit.
And that's the point. And that's the thing when when MJ Scott, because it was shut down, they integrated John Tyler and Tyler Lee and to the students of Tyler Lee from MJ Scott. The white people that still didn't want to have integration, they dumbasses, they opened Robert E. Lee thinking, oh, we're gonna open up a school and we're just gonna keep this one all white. No, bitch. Every school had to be integrated, dumb motherfuckers. That's what the situation. I'm sorry for cursing.
They probably was like, we can't keep it all white. We can make it majority white, and they successfully did that shit with the redlining, and then the whole you got to stay within your school district shit. And
that could be the line, but intentionally they wanted to keep it a full white school. That's just keeping the buck, and you're probably absolutely correct. But the majority of black people in Tyler was in the South. They were moved out the South to the North. Did you know that?
Yeah, because just like they do right now, gentrification, raise the prices up and shit.
But it was a little bit. It was handled a little bit differently. It wasn't like raising the prices. It was like pitchfork and fire in your front yard. Okay,
we go bully your ass in the moving, pretty much.
Bingo. So, really, TT? I'm sorry, I'm talking to our chat right here. Hey, boss lady Denise, what's up? Kayla, not everybody that's here. Y'all make sure to share it with your people. I didn't even share this on Twitter yet, but y'all know the love. But let me tell you something. That film, the series, I'm not telling y'all to watch it. It's a hard watch.
Is that Lena Waithe? Is that her show? Okay.
Yes.
Why everybody on here saying she capitalized on black pain? Like, what the fuck
she does. She does. And this is coming from me. This is coming from me. I love horror movies.
On black trauma. Says she capitalized on black trauma.
Boy.
But she has a niche. I mean, like, if you want to listen to, this is kind of random, but if you want to listen to like smoking music, for instance, you go to Devin the Dude,
correct,
or something like that. Like that's her niche. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the problem? Her niche is black trauma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
I don't see the problem
and
either,
that's a
but a lot of
fucking
people are
headache.
mad at her about that.
Yeah, because that's some hard shit. I don't need to see. I'm telling the series for that them is who is this shit made for? Who is this made for? Is this made for black people or is it made for white people?
So she went too hard this time.
Man, there's some shit in there. It's GJ as much. GJ, you know how you be telling me about stuff like this is something I don't need to watch that. I don't need to watch that. I really don't need to watch that. Man.
I already live that shit.
And that's the point, man. Is a part where the daddy it's a scene that I know you will blow up at. His manager, he's an engineer, he's a contractor. He builds something, write designs, and his boss took all credit for his business and all that. And it basically he getting fucked around. It's really messed up. And he being, especially back in the 50s, and making them type of money, you should be happy making the type of money you making right now, nigga. You know, it's like
that's how they do now.
Ooh, it's a lot. That's what I'm telling you, and that's why I say I can't look at this as a horror movie because this shit is real. You know, this is like it's to the point where he got so mad. In my head, I'm like, man, matter of fact, you need to watch this. Okay,
no, I'm not watching that shit.
Okay,
did you see that movie on Netflix? A little 30-minute movie.
I haven't watched it yet.
Bruh, don't watch it.
Okay,
that's gonna piss you off.
But you see what I mean. Same thing with them. I don't need to watch that. Man. I watched it, but I'm like,
you're the last person need to be watching them.
I know, like with that whole cat in the bag shit. I like.
No, what about the episode where the older white lady was like asking her about her dog?
That's what I'm talking about.
And then, is that your baby?
That's what I'm talking about.
And they're like, but what about when they were all sitting in the middle of the street when they first moved in?
That shit happens. This is real. That's what, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's one of the things that it pisses me off because you saw with that black boy, the young black man that was walking down the street in the neighborhood, and they try to say a white girl was running, yelling for help, and that sergeant that came out that was pushing him.
Yeah,
assaulting him, and how black people we came out and was in the front yard. If you watch them, I watched them before that happened, and how the white women, and once again, and I'll be specific, American white women are heavily influenced in racism here in the country, even though sometimes they try to hide their hand. Y'all throwing the most rocks, you know, and you let and just keep it a buck, okay? The history of this country, and it's not even history what we deal with right now. The Karens and things, what we call them now. But the way they act in that film, only thing these black folks did was to move into that neighborhood, live. And y'all stood in front of y'all played those radios in front of their houses and things. And soon that angered me. But within 2 days and within 48 hours, I saw in real life, black people saw how you treated one black person and they showed up in defense of that. That's the change that we've seen over the past 70 years in this country, and I hope I'll continue to see. Same thing with the jury, the jury with George Floyd. Man. I said I haven't felt that way since Obama won his first term. You know how crazy it is?
After, I'm gonna tell you, I was so worried about you. I know G. Jack and Denario, you guys are proud black men, and I absolutely love black men. I'm just let y'all know that. I love black men, and I'm the type of woman. The reason why I love black men so much is because when y'all go walk outside of your house every day, you're faced with so many daggers being tossed at you here and there and everywhere, no matter whether it's on your job, going into the supermarket, going into the gas station, just driving down the freaking road. You feel me? Y'all are faced with so much. And I'm a huge proponent of when the man comes home, when a black man comes home, he should be treated damn near like royalty when he walked through the door, because you don't know what the hell he just had to encounter outside. So when he come home, that's his safe space. That's his safe haven. That's where he should be okay to shed tears. It's okay to cuss and go on a rant that day. It's okay to not want to vacuum, right? It's okay to wash dishes and not feel like, he doing a woman's job. It's okay to be you when you're inside your castle, when you're inside your space. Because when you're on the outside, you damn near have to put on a facade every now and then. You are damn near having to walk around and create a bubble around yourself just to stay safe.
And it's multiplied times two. You gotta do it with white people and black people.
I mean, I believe that because there are so many black people who are yesser massas and will shit on a black man who really just trying to make enough money to take care of his household, make sure his family's okay. But I love you black men, and I was just addressing G-Jack and Denario, and you, Brandon, now to you, I knew that you would be heavily concerned and overwhelmed because I don't know them too. I know DJ just from even being a little kid and little snot nosed kid down the hill from Grandma house. But Denario, I just met him tonight. But Brandon, he is so heavily into so many things, everything culture kind of thing. He listens to and absorbs and soaks in and embodies so much of the shit that's happening out there nowadays, right? So I know that much about him. And when the George Floyd incident happened, initially, Brandon never even seen the initial, take of what was happening. He didn't see the videos. They were like small snippets, right?
I chose not to watch it. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I chose not to watch it at all.
He heard about it, but he didn't know what had happened. Now, here comes the trial. He started watching the trial. The first person I'm concerned about, and he didn't know this, but I'm calling him more regularly. Hey, bro, what you doing?
I didn't. You do what? Calling me more.
Yes, because I know what he feels when it comes to certain things like that. Then we kind of talked about it a little bit, and I'm like, that was a clear cut case of murder. Period. Can't nobody tell me
it legit had us questioning. It legit had people questioning, was this a murder or not?
Yeah, no. No, this man meant to kill him. He kept his knee in this man's neck, regardless of the people on the sidewalk. Man, check his pulse. Stand back. Get up off him, man. He ain't breathing no more. He unresponsive. So on and so forth. And he just sat there with his hand in his pocket, knee in this man's neck. One of the other officers felt his pulse. And them body cams told the whole, excuse my language, whole motherfucking story. Them body cams is what gave that man that guilty. Because I don't think and they were saying they don't want to show the body cam too much because they're getting desensitized and all that. The jury is getting desensitized. They're not feeling it no more because of the body cam. No, the body cams are what gave this guilty. Period. See, and yeah, when the 60-something-year-old man on the second day of trial got on the stand and started crying, that was it for me. I think I watched it maybe 1 or 2 more days. I couldn't watch it no more. That shit killed me. Hey. This was real life shit. And that's some scary stuff. I don't know what I would have done watching it. I probably got shot that day. I just bullshit you.
And that's what
I probably got shot that day.
And that's what I was saying. Me after watching it, I came talking about I would have died that day. I would have absolutely died that day.
Yeah,
it would be no way for me to see
somebody, and I'm doing this shit.
And I don't care what he did before. I don't care what type of. It's just that blue wall, and more and more I talk about this, and it is, and that's what I said. I know G-Jack and I had a bet, and it was like, oh yeah, if nothing happened, if he was found not guilty, and if nothing happened, and I would say nothing happened, it was something extreme, something. But unfortunately, I would have been catching a plane ride because I've been saying this for years. It's at a point where enough is enough. It's to that point where, and it's that fighting for the equality. Because once again, we got civil rights. We never got equal rights. Never. And you people can argue that. People I've seen on TikTok, they get that ideology that's food that you can have that equal opportunity. It's still not equal. It's still not. It may feel like it's equal to you. It may feel equal to you and your family, but across the board, it is not, and that is a fact. And
Appearance, right? It's like not really feel, it's appearance of
yeah,
equality. We say, well, you have the same chance that I had, or let one succeed. Then what do you mean you can't do
Mhm.
this?
Here's the
He
example
did
right
it.
here.
She did
Hmm
it. Why you can't do it? It's like, well, they came from the bottom and made their way up to the top. Why you can't do it? I mean, look, people live in the same household under the same rules and have the same amount of equality in their own house, and they still turn out different. How does you equate that to the entire culture
bingo.
of all of us? Like, how do you say, well, if he made it, you made it? Hell, my brother didn't even make it. And I'm supposed to be like, we're
And
supposed
really,
to be equal to you?
and really, TT said in the chat. Thank you again. Shout out to really TT, our number one moderator, only moderator. But but when I tell you, she said it'll never be equal. It may never be equal while we're alive, but it will. While I'm living, while it's blood pumping through my veins,
Well, we
while
about
it's
to.
breath going through my lungs,
It's about to be a
I'm gonna
different
make it.
majority, though. That's
But
the issue
hey,
right now.
that's the point.
They mad about
I'm still
it's
fighting
about to be the
for.
minority.
I'm
So
still fighting.
it's not if, it's when it's gonna
But
happen.
that's the point. There you go. Because as long as I'm living, as long as I'm doing things, I'm gonna continue to do my show, my podcast, my communication. I'm still gonna activate. I'm still going on marches. I'm still gonna go out. And then because once again, remember, it was to the point that we'll never have a black president. We'll never have a person of color as a president. I used to think a white officer would never go to jail, go to prison, and we still gotta wait to the sentencing for
Yeah.
murdering
But look how
a
many
black
done got
person.
off though, man. That ain't enough. Just
Hey,
that we shouldn't have to put all our eggs in one basket. Like, all
G
right, well,
Jack,
let's hope this one
G Jack,
motherfucker get off.
you know me. I agree with you, but I gotta once again to keep my sanity. I gotta take my celebration. I gotta take my win where I can take my win. You feel me? And
Yeah.
but we don't end there. But we got to celebrate the wins where we can celebrate them. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
But
this is a start.
what I was gonna say to Denario, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Denario.
Okay.
All right, back to your point where you were saying like how they try and put one black person up on a pedestal. It reminds me of like that Chris Rock joke when he was like, "Man, I done made it. I made all this money. I'm like considered like one of the greatest comedians. My next door neighbor is Denzel Washington or whatever. He's like considered one
The
of the greatest
dentist.
actors. And then the other neighbor is Beyonce. She's like considered one of the best singers in the world. Guess who my other neighbor is? A fucking dentist, white guy. They don't even have to try as hard. We have to be the greatest and the best of the best with
Mm-hmm.
everything to
Yeah.
even be
Yeah.
here. But they can be like a dentist, doctor, hell, fucking freelance photographer. You know what I'm saying?
Paparazzi is.
Yeah. How y'all seen that house show where they go out looking for houses, and the joke is like they'll ask them, all right, what's
Yeah.
your budget? Our budget's like $9 million. What do you do? Oh, I train poodles
Stay at
for a
home,
living.
mom.
And I'm a stay-at-home
mom.
dad who fishes on the weekends. You know what I'm saying?
And their budget 450,000.
Yeah.
Where?
Really?
Oh yeah. But
That's the generational wealth. That's
Yeah,
daddy
exactly.
and
right back
mom.
to that. Right back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And once again,
Yeah.
we're really TT saying
Damn dog whispering shit. No.
it's saying slow and steady. It's not. I hate to be in that. I hate this. Like she's correct. It's that slow and steady because it's not. Is that point of control making that change? Because control is such a big aspect of what we have to deal with this country. It's the control of people. Just like I've been saying for at least 10 years now that being black in America and asking for your rights is like being a domestic violent relationship. Okay,
Oh my.
it's to the point where we help build this motherfucker. We not help. We built this motherfucker. Okay, really, it comes from us. Okay, the backs of us. Now you might have a new booze that come in your life, new people that you give attention to, and things of that nature. You may be not, but we are the background of this country. Okay, where it looks at from the good and the bad. Sometimes I was talking about the Buffalo Soldiers. How hell played a part just to be accepted by you motherfuckers is to kill other Native Americans that would accepted us, and we helped build them as well. But it goes to that fact of, and once again, I do say fact that you still have to control the type of respect and the type of power we continue to have. That's why that slow and steady, they know what they're doing. That's why we have to ask for civil rights, not equal rights. That's why next we got to ask for equal rights, then not equity. Give us our fucking, like, I'm telling you, because if we were given our 40 acres and our mule, our reparations, and certain laws were not put into a position to put us at a disadvantage. Can you imagine where we'll be right now? Because we may not know, because they remove so much of our imaginations, not from all of us, for many of us, and even I would say for most of us, but they know, many of the people, they know what we could be. And I say this quite a bit when I did the makings of Mr. D713, I talked about my culture, which is our people, us. Once again, anybody listen to my voice right now, hey, this is genuine, that we are still searching. Okay, we are still searching all over. We've been sometimes we're displaced, and that once we get that unity together, no matter how much, we don't have to always take the same path, but we have the same direction. When I say the same path, if we have the same end goal, we can get there all different type of ways. But as long as we try to get there together, I think we can actually win. And we ain't trying to hurt nobody. We just trying to live and be prosperous as we should be.
Absolutely.
And
I love what you're saying, Brandon. I truly do. And I speak for, hopefully I have women that feel the same way I do. And I say women, and I say it loosely, not just talking about Black women, white women. I'm just not a racial women error or whatever I'm speaking of. It's just about women, period. You know, just women. When our Black men are going out the home, or even sometimes now a lot of people are having to work from home due to the pandemic, but nevertheless, when they're having to go outside, and when they just go to the gas station, and when they just go anywhere, us as women need to make sure they are still fully protected by us as well.
And when you were saying that about when you were saying the comment about Black men, about with G Jack and Demario, I was thinking about, man, I worry about Black women. And that's that's the crazy thing. And that's how, I don't want to say it should be like that, but we should be in that mindset of always trying to protect one another. But
we know that men are natural protectors, but how can you protect me if you don't feel safe yourself?
But that's been the mindset. That's always been that. But that's been the mindset that's been put into us, that all my life I had to fight, it goes to that. Kendrick Lamar said it's to that point that, wow, it's hard, because I talked about this on Clubhouse before, and it turned the wrong way, because some people, they use that struggle.
Well, they damn bad and they lost.
I know.
Well, the thing is, you have to be willing to humble yourself to do so. And a lot of people ain't willing to do that shit. Like, a lot of women aren't willing to do that. And men, because sometimes men have to humble themselves and respect the queen,
what do you mean by willing to humble yourself? And
like a lot of, like you said, a man, she should come home and feel welcome and loved and stuff like that. But a lot of women, they don't see it that way. They're like, well, I feel like he may be out there cheating or something. It's just a bunch of hell always going on when you get home. Like, they have to be able to accept the fact that, and I guess, like, what I'm saying, I have to be able to understand that, we are out here going through some bullshit, and we do want to be appreciated when we get home. But some women have too much pride to be able to do that.
See, my thing is, may not be so much as pride. I said, when I use my situation, is that victim competition, who had it worse. And I've seen, and I've legit said that's something that in some relationships, I say with Black, and I'm talking specifically to African American descent, American slaves, from being African blood descent heritage, but was American slave here on this continent, that it's to the point now we both had our struggles, but it's to that point where Black women had it worse. We both had our struggles. Let's not say who had it better, who had it worse. We both had our struggles. Where you're a man, where Black women was raped, Black men were raped. If you know the history of slavery, Black men was raped. Not only Black men, and once again, I don't even have to go down this line. That's what I say. Why are we even here? Let's talk about who put us in this situation in the first place, and how do we get out of it together. But when we so focused about who had it worse, you have that separation now, okay? And it goes back to where you're a man, you have to run your household, this and that. Well, then it also put into the position where I was removed from my household, and not only removed, but you took my wife and my children from me. You beat me, you separated, you put us this, and as some Black women, well, you should have fought harder. Well, the ones that fought harder died and were killed, okay?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
That mindset of, well, we had it so bad. Yes, thank you, Leah. Struggle wars. That's exactly what I used to say, struggle wars. And it's like, damn, can we come together? But I legit see, well, I had a girl have a full breakdown on Clubhouse because just simply how I'm talking right now. Well, you're not being cognizant of Black women's plight. And me still talking calmly, trying to be nice.
I'm going to ask you, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but you just said something that's making me put a question mark. What the fuck does she mean, Black woman's plight? Plight of what?
Once again, the same thing that people, once again, she's in her emotions, she's in her feelings. It's nothing I can do to try to reparation, because once again, but I'm like, motherfucker, did you hear anything I just said? Did you understand anything I just told you? Right. But you falling into that game that they put us in the point. Now we fighting each other before we fighting, because we can't win if we don't fight together. Separation is key. It's the art of war. When you have them against one another, hell, you can take over anything you want to.
And you're gonna lose hands down when you don't have. If you fighting, that's just like football. I'm not the biggest sports critic out there, but I know one player cannot beat a whole team.
And you said the point, and that's
in this Tom Brady.
It's crazy. No, not even Tom Brady. No, I know what you mean. But because it's right. So unique that and it's emasculating the man. Correct. When you emasculate the man, then the woman is don't want to follow, and you don't have to worry about the man because being the main protector when you step into it's a very simple process in my mind. Yeah, it's a team. But you said table. Like I put it to foot. No, I put it to football. I'm glad you said the football because that's what I compared it to. Everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the running back. Everybody can't be the receiver.
That's what I was saying about you got to humble yourself and play your part. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that you're going to be a lesser person.
Thank you, Lee.
It's just saying everybody has to play their part. You know, even the men, you know what I'm saying? We got to realize that sometimes we have to bear the brunt of like all the bad shit that may happen in the, you know what I'm saying, in the relationship or in the family. Like all the blame is going to be put on us.
You know how
the water boy before you too.
Yeah.
Very
you know
important.
How people come to the table. You know how people be saying, what do you bring to the table? Right? What do you bring to the table? To me, I feel like, and I could be dead ass wrong. Check me if I'm wrong. Because you know me, I'm cool with being checked. Just better check me right and let me know where I'm wrong. But when we go to the table as a woman, we go into the table unified, right? The table is where we're unified. What we're bringing to the table. But when we step away from the table, there's roles. There's my significant other, my helpmate, or me being the helpmate, all this stuff. I'm very biblical when it comes to certain things. So let me just stick to what some people can relate to. Everybody's not where I'm at in the mindset. But when you walk away from the table, then you can say, you know, certain things, the roles of the man and the woman or whatever. But every woman should have a man that is okay with washing dishes, washing a load of clothes, as well as cleaning up around the house. And the woman should be okay with mowing the yard, washing her own car, and doing things like that. But there's still like roles that we both can play in the household. But when we go to the table is different. So when the man walks outside the house and he's doing stuff to provide for the household, he's running into all kind of racist comments and all kind of stuff. So many things are attacking him on a daily basis when he's outside of that household. When he come back inside, he should be treated like royalty because he made it back.
Yeah.
Some men don't make it back. George Floyd did not make it back.
And right here,
Okay.
Leah says gender roles are necessary. Check those social contracts before you join with someone. And once again, it's what I would say an equal responsibility. I wouldn't even say about gender roles. Have your roles set up into who you partner with. Okay. You talk to who you partner with, what y'all like to do, what you need from one another.
Teamwork.
You know what? If Mrs. D713, if we in a football game, we in a flag football game together, and I'll say, hey baby, I need you to run this route. I need you to do this and this. And she's like, okay, I need you to throw the ball towards my knees other than my chest. Okay. We communicate. Same pillars that we have here at Everything Culture: respect, communication, consistency. That's how we continue to make progress for one another. And you can't worry about what they doing over there. You can see what they doing, see if it's something feasible, if you want to trade places with them, but maybe what they doing over there don't work for you. Find what works for y'all.
When you have a dynamic team, everybody has a level of expertise that the other person cannot be perfect at. But
and that's what you need. Exactly. I keep saying, even with here with Everything Culture, I'm working with my homegirls that make my prayerfully continue to make some flyers for me. I'm not good at making flyers, but she kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Find the team that you necessary. So I'm looking at really TT. Man, she killed. Like, was she doing moderating? We were supposed to do an episode this weekend. TT, we got to do our TPT. And hey, Leah, we miss you. I hope all is well. But TT,
hey,
like,
Leah,
we still got
one that I've seen you talk to.
Yes, Leah is the
of...
frequent. Yes,
What
Leah
up, Leah?
is the girl.
Hey, girl.
Shout out to Champions Discourse, and then shout out to Take Up Space Pod, and shout out really TT on YouTube. But we still got to do our show together. But when I say this, because we about to wrap it up.
And I like Greer too, by the way. Oh,
Greer, man. She doesn't know. I got a bundle I'm putting together for Greer. Stickers, coffee mug, shirt. I'm trying to find something for her kiddo as well. And her
husband. Oh, by the way, the shirt that you sent, it's too little for me, but go ahead.
Really?
It's gonna look like scuba diving gear when I put it on. You should have had it made like a one to snap between my legs. It's so damn
tight. We have those, you know that, right? Well, either way.
I want to point out something real quick.
Go ahead, Demaria.
Yes, sir.
And this is just because my mind works crazy, but I think one thing we have to distinguish. I like the terminology, but I feel like team, because by definition, team is a group of individuals, right? A group of individuals. Mm-hmm. I feel personally more like it's a collaboration, because the collaboration is working jointly together to create something. So my marriage is a collaboration. My wife has her skill set. I have my skill set, and we work together to make the marriage work.
Why can't your team collaborate to what you're saying right now?
Because the team is a group of individuals. So we don't have a group. It's two people. That's not a group. That's individuals. A group would be more than three, I believe, like the definition of a group is.
Well, a group could be two.
A couple is
one or more.
Is two. A couple is two, and a group is three or more.
So, do you think that people are wrong when it's you and your wife sitting here and they say y'all make a great team?
We make a great collaboration.
Them and correct them and say, so you would correct someone and say,
y'all don't consider yourself as a team.
We don't consider ourselves as a team because one of the main things.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because one of the main things for us is, which I also like when we talk, because we did a marriage counseling group thing last summer, and we explained to them what we consider ourselves, and I think which helped us to last 14 years, was we're individuals working together to make one thing work. And with being individuals, we still need individuality because we're
Correct.
also human, right? We still need
Yes.
our own individuality. A
Okay.
lot of people take marriage and make it, I'm no longer an individual. No, you're still an individual. You're a part of something, but you're still an individual because you still like what you like. You still like to do things that you like. And we all need what's that called me time, right?
Correct.
I
Right.
need to go to my movies on Tuesday for
Oof.
$5 and
Lord,
watch.
I miss that.
I'm
I miss
I'm
that.
not saying that I don't need you to come with me, but I need me because I can't be what I need to be if I don't have time to process the things that I need to process. Going back to what you was talking about, being treated as a man, as a king when I come into the house, I still, as a king, need some counsel to myself to be like, okay, I probably should have did this better, or
Time to
I probably
reflect.
shouldn't have got upset about this the way I did. But when I collaborate, like with us collaborating, we started off with if you want to think about it, I started off as an independent artist in this relationship, and my wife, my wife came from a group of artists, and she
Mhm.
said she was gonna leave her group to come be with this independent artist
Mhm.
and see what we could do together to make our record sale, to make our group famous
Yeah.
or our collaboration famous. And here we are, like I said, 14 years later, going on 15. You know, the struggles, the up and
Congratulations, by
down
the
the
way.
hills.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
that's a
The
beautiful
struggles,
thing.
the up and down the
Black
hills,
love.
the
Uh,
the
uh,
black love,
uh.
but it does take, like you said, being able to walk in that door and shed the weight of the world
There you
off
go.
of you, you know, um, you know, being black man in the South with a gun, being pulled over from state troopers and sheriffs. I actually had one sheriff pull me over, let me go. When I stepped out of the car, I took a step back and went, if I would have known you was this big, you would have been going to jail.
What?
Man,
What
So
man,
that, wow.
I
what does
was
my size
watching
got to do with this?
I was watching that Jamie Foxx show. How y'all seen that on Netflix yet?
Not yet.
What
Yeah,
is it?
Just mercy.
Uh,
Don't
no,
embarrass me,
it's
dad, or something
Don't
like
Embarrass
that.
Me, Dad. It's his new
Oh, okay, yeah.
sitcom. Okay,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
so
called what?
Don't Embarrass Me, Dad. It's about him and his daughter or whatever.
Mm.
But on the last episode, they got pulled over by the police or whatever. The police found them, whatever, because they was in a nice
Spoilers.
car. Yeah, well, you go see it on the internet. The clips going around the internet. And so, I mean, they arrested them. They didn't want to hear nothing they had to say. They didn't believe them or whatever. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, it's crazy that I can pretty much everybody I know that's black male, they have all had some kind of the same similar encounter with police. Like you try and explain what's going on, they don't give a fuck. And just shut up, do what I say, you're going to jail. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's
Mhm.
just crazy that we all got stories like that, man. It really
And
fucking sucks. It's like
True,
traumatizing.
true
that's it is.
enough.
Going back to racial trauma fatigue or racial battle fatigue, being black, not only being a black male, but being black, period, here in America, you should be in therapy. You should be in counseling. What you experience and what you that thought maybe I'm tripping, maybe it's just me. It's not just you. It's not you,
Right.
sister. Not just you, brother. We all experience it, but we've been taught to hide our pain and just live with it. It's not normal to see as many black people be killed by the police, the people here to protect you, and just go to work the next day. That's one reason I took a half a day Wednesday. I was like, man, after watching it, I was like, man, I shouldn't have to deal with this at work. But you taught just to put your head down and bear it. I work with I'm one of my coworkers told me, and my job listened to my podcast. Okay, they watched this. Remember, say, man, you don't think a white guy gonna take off for this? When I was in Houston, it used to drive me wild. They don't talk about certain issues, and we don't when we talk about politics and. But this is before Black Lives Matter, when black people are killed in the public and things. But when someone get killed in France, you want to change your profile around. You want to you when a disease happen, you want to do an ice bucket challenge. You want to do all this. But when a black person that looks like me, for the people that we serve, we're supposed to protect, is killed in cold blood right in front of my eyes, I'm supposed to go to work and act normal. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. And but we're taught to, well, you know how it is. You just gotta be stronger. You gotta be better.
Gotta be
But
10
that's
times better
how,
than them. Work 10
yeah,
times harder.
And get paid
yeah,
less.
and but that's also the slave mentality as well, because slaves
That's
will
my
be
point.
brutalized, slashed in their back, and beaten, had to go breastfeed the people in the big houses, children, and all this and another.
And
Okay,
smile. And
but
smile while you
it's
do it.
fine while you doing it. Yes, sir. But you got Pappy's baby on your breast and all that good stuff. But that's a whole nother story. I'm talking about that it rolls into what we are and who we are today, because I've known about or seen some black people commit suicide, but it's
Yes.
extremely rare when it comes to the another race. And I just don't want to be a white, black, and all that kind of person, because I'm not that person. But I do know that it's less of us killing ourselves than them, simply because they don't know how to deal with the fact they just lost a job. Man, we lose jobs every goddamn day just because we black.
The dog
Next.
died.
Yeah, dog died. Oh shit! Let me go bury us. Let me bury Rufus in the backyard
Fish
and go
died.
get another one. Or we know how to. A lot of times we've been conditioned to recover
Right.
when they have not all been conditioned to recover, because they never really had to recover from shit because they've been given so much so long.
And everything I'm saying right here, and we're gonna wrap it up in soon, because I was gonna read about being a group. A group, you could be any number being a group. Just say that definition of group, though. That's all I was gonna say. That you could be any number. It could be one person. You can be a group within yourself. But from the definition of it. But when we talk about a group of us, and like we saying being conditioned for it, some of these things, like I heard not to talk about. I didn't watch George Floyd because once again I was really dealing after the murder of the lynching of Ahmaud Arbery. That fucked me up. That really messed me up. I'm talking about y'all have to understand how much that bothers me, man.
Did they ever go to court for that?
Oh, they're still in jail, and this court going on right now for it. I've been keeping everybody, and I've been talking about it, but I shared it again recently on our Instagram like a month ago. But I'm not letting that slip through my fingers for nothing. I even sent something in to vote for it, But the point I'm getting at is watching Ahmaud Arbery, because I don't know why I felt like I was him. It felt, you know how you feel like you have an out-of-body experience.
I felt like I was Sandra Bland.
Do you understand that? That's what I'm getting at. That's exactly the point I'm getting at. That's me. That's not somebody. That is literally, that's how I took it. That was me that they murdered. And to see, because I wouldn't go down, I would fight, and he fought. You can't say he fought for his life, and he was shot from a distance. He wasn't shot by the shotgun. He was shot from that bitch ass daddy that was shooting from the truck. But he fought for his life. You understand? And so
those are everyday activities for us. That's what it is.
G-Jack said I remember him and I, we was going through other people's houses, walking around, just look, he worked in homes. Look, he got his hat on backwards. He have a shirt. They could easily mistake him as a crook in a heartbeat. Just being real.
That's Adrian. Adrian be going through that. He wear the straight brim hats to work. Like,
see, but
you gotta get them, man. They be like, "Oh, what you doing here?"
And like, I know we can laugh about, joke about it, but what if something actually happened to Adrian? What if he was killed? Do you know how fucked that would make us? Like, it would be and to me, where I'm at, it'd be no understanding, it'd be no more communication, because you didn't give my friend, my person I love, an opportunity to live his life and do his job. And that's what I see, and that's what I have. What's up, Mike, man? It's the light. And
I literally would go on high alert for you.
Oh man, it would be,
if something was to happen to Adrian. because y'all are so connected, and y'all three, y'all are inseparable. Y'all three, y'all may live in different states,
But
or
we still talk, we still communicate, we still
every
friends,
day
we
y'all
still
got a
close.
connection.
And we've already
Yeah.
lost somebody close to us, and to lose it over some fuck shit like that in our 30s. Oh no, it for me, I'll let y'all know it ain't gonna be no good understanding for me. It's like to that snapping point and seeing, because me and Adrian have been pulled over numerous times for being two dark-skinned brothers in a car driving through East Texas. And when I tell other people about this, man, they don't understand that. They don't. But and it's hard to rationalize trying to be a better person, be the bigger person and things, and be the loving person. And I always say everything culture. We're all, and then once again, we'll go wrap it up 2 more minutes. Our motto comes from Martin Luther King is because he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because segregation, miscommunication. So we build a podcast or a platform built off respect, communication, and consistency, so we can love each other, get to know each other. But I don't usually say this, but it's in a very small print. I still reserve the right to whoop your ass or fuck you up if you go to that point. You do understand? Like,
Right.
but I'm trying everything I can do to be a good guy and try to do the right thing God want me to be. But man,
Right.
it is like, trust me, the X of like, man, it's that you do me wrong, I'm gonna make sure I have something for you. I'm still to the point where us as black people that I'm trying to show it's okay if you want to integrate and be with people, but we gotta have our own. We gotta build our own community. We have to continue to grow forward. And something that I have for the here in Seattle is trying to do Juneteenth celebration up here. That's something I'm
Good
really
Man,
trying to
luck.
push
I
for.
just bought me a Juneteenth flag on Amazon.com, like the big one. I'm gonna put that bitch in
Yeah.
my front yard. But
Yeah.
they got, guess how much it was though? $5 on Amazon, bro. Big flag. Go on there and get you one.
Send me the link, player.
All right, I got you.
All I'm
The
saying is
Mary the
that's
same way.
how little regard they have for that.
Hey, I'm
Dollar
cool with
amount
that.
at $5.
But it may be a black person. Is it a black person making it?
I don't know. I saw $5 and ordered it. I
Like,
wasn't worried
damn,
about
who
supporting black
made it?
people
Her
at that time.
$5 was it.
I would take it. I would buy 3 of those, but man, because I support this. I love what we do here. And I bring other cultures on and other people on and discuss what they're going through. But man, I say all the time, I love what we continue to grow. So, we'll be back next. Thank you, sister, for coming on. Like you, once again, this is open. Anytime you want to come on, I still got time to record, edit aunties. Like once again, I'm doing the elders of my family soon. I got 2 down. Y'all be able to check them out. But same thing with the Mario. Thank you for joining us, man. Once again, we didn't even get to talk
Nice
about.
meeting you, Denario.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the family reunions and how us to come together. But we go pull that back, man. Once again, for us to actually be the next leader stepping up in our family.
Brandon,
Once
we
again,
got too much in our family. We got so many moving parts. You can't do this shit in 1 or 2 segments, man. What's wrong
no,
with you?
I know. Shit, I know.
Get your mind right.
But I know, but it's so much to do, and I'm like with Denario when I was posted earlier, like that. The reason I even said it is like I know other people dealing with in their family as well. I know it. I know it's not just us. So it's just how do we overcome? When I've seen other families do it, but like
Invite Denario to all our family functions on here.
Oh, man,
we'll be there. We'll be there.
Hey, bring the
Come on, Denario.
When the fish ready?
G-Tech already come here.
Is the
Make some gumbo, some jambalaya. What y'all need?
See, he from Louisiana, man. See, we I'm gonna cook the brisket. You bring the jambalaya and the crawfish and all that good stuff. We rolling, man.
I do all soul food, whatever you want in the soul food era. I'm in.
But
and my wife will bring the mac and cheese. Let me tell you.
She go down through there with the mac and cheese.
Hey,
I'm so hungry right now.
I posted a picture and Jock said, "Hey man, where y'all live at again?"
Wow.
Because when I be trying to tell folks, man, it's like it's a reason I have to work out the way I have to work out, man. Because we didn't picked up some recipes from the family. That's a blessing. And I didn't even speak about it. Last thing I'm gonna say we'll get off is ass whippings. One thing that has been said and it's been confirmed from numerous people in my family. My grandmother was a champion ass whooper. Like she probably should have been in the Olympics of it.
Olympics.
Like, man,
Olympics ass whooping contest. Yeah.
man, when I tell you, it's been from all generations. It's like, man, you ain't got a ass one by grandma. Oh, you live. Like,
Yeah.
No bigger than a toothpick because swing a switch and
see, that's what I said. Okay. Last question. Once again, appreciate all my YouTube.
Okay, say it and say it. Hurry up.
Hey,
I can't wait
appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you, Leah. Appreciate you, really, TT. Thank you, Denise, for jumping on. But okay, if you had to get an ass whooping, a spanking, would you prefer a belt, a switch, or by hand?
Hand ain't gonna hurt as worse as that belt or that switch. Switch is worse. Them little sharp stings, that shit hurt like hell.
Denario.
belt. I say a belt.
A belt.
Okay.
You prefer a belt over a hand
Yeah.
and a switch?
Yeah, a belt.
Angela?
Really?
Anything other than a cake strap?
Oh my God, the cake strap is death. Oh my. I said switch.
Okay.
I think the switch is the weakest of the three.
Yeah, because a switch stings, but it don't hurt.
Shit.
My grandmother was like, she can whip your ass with a belt, right? A belt. But it was something about the flip of the wrist that made that belt feel like and I don't know if y'all were big into wrestling and sports back in the day, but y'all remember the Von Erichs?
Yes.
Yeah.
She whooped your ass like she was a Von Erich. And like that belt that she whooped your ass with was one of their title championship belts, right? So I would prefer to get whooped by the switch. But she mastered ass whooping by grabbing anything. And Gary, quit laughing because your ass has seen all of us get ass whooping before. But grandma, so Tupperware, when we were growing up, she was a big time Tupperware consultant and distributor. And so they had these cake covers with the Tupperware cake top and the bottom, right? You put your cake in there, and pound cake, whatever, close it up. Well, in order for it not, the cake top not to come out, it used to be a cake strap that go across and connect to the side. She whooped your ass with the cake strap. You remember that cake strap?
I know what you're talking about now. The cake strap. God
Man.
damn.
Yeah.
That's some thick ass plastic.
Yes. That shit, I wish I could do, you know how people get back child support? I need like back CPS type shit. That was devastating.
Retro pay.
I'm still affected at 48 years old.
They owe you 6 months mortgage for that.
Hello.
But let me tell you something. The reason I bring this up because I'm with GJ. I would say the worst is a switch. You know, that would have been worse for me. I talked to my aunt, okay, and she was like, "You ain't got to whoop him by your granny with a belt. I promise you wouldn't even think about a switch." And everything Angela said is concurrent. Which her mother said. I'm telling you, I don't think they even talked about this before, but they say the exact same thing. They're like, "Nah, you just don't know. You just don't know."
That goes to show that shit be real, man. I told my mama, my grandmother had children to whoop our ass. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna whoop your ass so good, your kids gonna be.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's what she meant.
These ass whoopings are massive. She can literally write a book. You know how Steve Harvey got the book? Think like a man, act like a woman, think like a man. She should have wrote a book called The Art of Ass Whooping. Because you didn't want to do nothing. You wanted to do absolutely nothing wrong to get that ass whooping from her.
The worst though is getting hit with a belt, like when you wet, like fresh out the tub or the shower. Oh my God, that's the worst.
No. How about when you wake up in the morning? She woke you up with an ass whooping because you didn't watch this before you went to sleep.
I don't think I ever woke up out of my sleep with an ass whooping. I think I missed.
You don't want to. You don't never want to go to sleep. Your ass gonna have insomnia. You're gonna be sitting up at your damn classroom like this all day.
I bet you remember to wash them dishes though.
Yeah. She didn't have a dirty dish at all. Ever.
That may be why I still like washing dishes, just for that fear. All right, y'all. Oh man,
That's the reason why Brandon washed dishes a lot.
man, I appreciate y'all. I'm probably about to hop on Clubhouse in a second, see what y'all getting into, edit these episodes. Once again, thank y'all so much for being here. We'll see y'all next Sunday. Peace, much love, and God bless.
Thanks for inviting.